All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another Nathan Osman video. There is a lot to get through, a lot to digest in order to understand what could have possibly happened to Nathan before he was found at the bottom of a cliff in Benidorm. Now, I'm not too sure how many of you guys are familiar with this story, but Nathan went over to Benidorm last year, September of 2024. He was literally there for about 2 days before he was found at the bottom of a cliff. In the last video, we spoke about Nathan's family wanting to speak to two women that were found on Nathan's phone, two women that Nathan looked like he was enjoying his time with. The family wanted those two women to come forward with any information that could help them understand what happened to Nathan. And the good news is Nathan's sister Alana, who I've personally been in contact with, she updated me yesterday about the conversation she had with one of those women. Other than Nathan being such a great guy, they didn't really have much else to say. Now, there is some new information that we do need to get through, ladies and gentlemen. Some information that could lead us to understanding what happened to Nathan that evening. Now, in the last video, as we saw, the last official footage, CCTV footage that we have of Nathan is him walking along the beachfront on FaceTime to his friends. This is around the time where the SCX worker approaches him trying to get some work. That would have been in between the hours of 4 to 10 past 4 in the morning. Thereafter, we don't see Nathan as far as I'm aware. But at that point, I was thinking SCX worker, 4 a.m. in the morning, clearly Nathan is in the wrong part of town. As his sister made me aware, the footage that we saw of Nathan, he was actually walking in the wrong direction. He was walking away from his hotel. The interactions with the SCX worker didn't go down well, according to Nathan's friend Josh. Josh would have been the person that Nathan was on a video call with whilst we see him on that CCTV. The interactions with the SCX worker come across like she was extremely pushy. She was being very persistent in trying to get Nathan's custom. And Nathan's friend Josh had to intervene and say, listen, leave him alone. He's not interested. It's been confirmed that the lady wasn't speaking Spanish or English. It hasn't been verified what language she was speaking. And we don't have a description of what she looked like. I'm not too sure if Josh would have seen her through the video call. But shortly after that altercation, ladies and gentlemen, whatever happened to Nathan happened. The reason I say that is Nathan's body was found at 12 p.m. the same day. His body was found by an off-duty police officer who was basically doing something along the mountains. I'm not too sure what he was doing, and I can't confirm at this point what that off-duty police officer was doing in the area. I think there is information in one of the emails that Alana has sent to me. But he was found by an off-duty police officer at 12 o'clock. Now, the autopsy said he was dead for about 5 to 6 hours. So if he was found at 12 o'clock, it means he would have died in between the hours of maybe 6 to 7 in the morning, which means whatever happened to Nathan would have happened in between the hours of 4:15, 4:30, up until about 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock. So they're the hours that need to be looked into. Every bit of CCTV needs to be looked into regarding those hours. But we have something new. And this isn't a fact at this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. However, the family are happy for me to share this information. And that information is a suspicious red car. A suspicious red car is alleged to have potentially been involved in abducting Nathan shortly after his interactions with this SCX worker. On the CCTV footage that Nathan's brother had been scouring through, he found this red car. Now, this information, ladies and gentlemen, has been given to the family as anonymous tip. They don't know who this information has come from. They are claiming that the information is genuine. What they're saying is that in the local area that Nathan Osman was in, it's run by crooked gangsters. And based on the timelines that we have, this person is kind of alleging that shortly after the interaction with the SCX worker, 4 to 5 men forced Nathan into this red car. Now, this is all alleged, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know where this information has come from. The family want the information shared because they want to do everything they can to find the truth. So it's alleged that the car is a red Picanto-style car. You can see it here on the CCTV, ladies and gentlemen. I believe this is the same car they're talking about. There's also been a rumor going around in Benidorm over the past couple of weeks suggesting that a gypsy gang could be involved in whatever happened to Nathan that evening or that morning. Either way, when you look at the location of where Nathan was found, it doesn't make any sense of how he got there. The family have been there. They've scoured that whole area to try and make sense of why Nathan would have been there. They don't believe Nathan would have went there. Now, this is the actual cliff, the Sierra Helada, I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But when you look at this cliff, make it make sense why Nathan would be up there. This location is 50 minutes away from where he was last seen on CCTV. 50 minutes, 50. How did he get there? Why was he there? When we think about the information that we've spoken about in this video so far, we have missing time, 2 hours worth of missing time, in my opinion. They're the 2 hours that need to be looked into. In between the hours of 4:15 to 6:15, they're crucial based on the fact that the autopsy tell us he was dead at 12 o'clock for about 5 to 6 hours. Now, if you think about this anonymous tip as well, and you think about the fact that they're claiming he was forced into a car, it means if he was forced into a car, there was moments of him still being alive. You got to also think, why would they take him to a cliff to kill him if they wanted to just rob him? Did a fight break out? Did Nathan try to defend himself? Because looking at Nathan, he doesn't look like a walkover. He doesn't look like someone that would just allow himself to get punched in the face and not fight back. So was there an altercation? Did it become 1v4? And then they had no choice but to then put him in the car, drive him up to the mountain and chuck him off. What we have as a fact is the interactions with the SEX worker. That happens in the area where we see him on CCTV. If he's in an area at 4 o'clock in the morning being asked by an SEX worker for custom, you can only assume that that area is not a good area to be in at that time of night. So you can then kind of link that with potential criminals in that area, thieves, gangs, these potential criminals in this red car that could have forced him into a car, walking by himself, got nice shades on, got a phone in his hands. You can clearly see he's a tourist. He's not from the country. They pull beside him. They look at him. They ask him a question in Spanish or in their language. He responds with like, what you're talking about. They realize he's English. They jump out and then the altercation starts. Whoever took him to that location and dumped him would have known that would have been the easiest thing to do to get rid of a body. So it would have had to have been a resident of that location, that area. And there are a number of other red flags and question marks that we have to run through. Another thing that's compelling, ladies and gentlemen, is Nathan's bank card being used twice after his death. Who would do such a thing like that? Someone that maybe found the bank card on the floor and thought, you know what? When I go to the shop, I'll just try it. Or one of the group that could have had an altercation with Nathan, took all his belongings other than his phone, and then went and used his bank card hours later at a supermarket. The great news is the family have the exact details and the exact location of that supermarket. I can't say at this moment in time on whether they're looking at CCTV from that location, in that shop. I can't say for sure. But that would be a step that I would personally take. We will get back to the bank card situation in another video. I need you guys to comment down below and let me know your thoughts for now. But there are other red flags that we need to kind of digest in this case, ladies and gentlemen. The Guardia Civil are another one. The fact that they tried to lead the family to believe that this was just a simple accident. They didn't want to look into the case. They didn't want to do any investigative work into why Nathan was found at the bottom of the cliff. Bearing in mind, this situation was off the back of the Jay Slater situation. And Guardia Civil were also leading that investigation. In fact, their actions towards the Osman family have opened my eyes in regards to why the Slater family was treating the way they were treating as well. Because the government, the authorities over there, they're looking at English people as just some alcoholic, drug-taking people. They come here for a party. They come here to cause problems. We don't care about them. When you look at the Jay Slater case, the first thing they're looking at is this guy has just told the world that he stole a Rolex. They're thinking, oh my God, this is another nuisance kid. They don't want to investigate every single aspect of this case because they're just looking at this person as a person who creates trouble. We don't care. Why are we going to go out of our way to investigate a case for a person that's here to only create trouble? English lad, come over here, his friends, they're just here to start trouble. That was the whole perception they had until Nathan's family said, no, that's not who Nathan is. This is who Nathan is. They had to stand up and fight for Nathan. Let them know that Nathan wasn't here to do anything stupid. He was only here for a short holiday. He isn't here to get involved in any drug taking, drug selling, drug smuggling, anything like that. He is a family guy. They had to put pictures on the table for the police nationale because initially they weren't buying into any of it. They were ready to close the book on this one and throw it out the same way they did with Jay Slater. No, the family stood up. The family put together a timeline of events from the moment Nathan got on a plane, even before he got on the plane, the hours leading up to Nathan getting on the plane, to him getting off the plane, him going to his first pub. Their timeline brings us to this point. The missing time, the 2 hours of missing time that we have for Nathan. Because whatever happened to Nathan happened within that 2 hours. We've got this information about this red car. And there is a description for one of the people in that car. A curly-haired man. dark hair, curly hair, potentially looking at an Egyptian Moroccan type person based on the description that's been given. Anyway, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a few points that I did want to speak about in regards to Nathan Osman. There is some compelling information to actually digest and look into, but the red car and the 2 hours of missing time and the area from where Nathan was last seen and the areas in between the mountains where his body was more or less dumped, they would be key to look at right now. Any bit of CCTV in those areas would be key. Leave all of your thoughts and all of your comments and down below. I need to know exactly what you guys are thinking. I will be back with another Nathan Osman video, so make sure you don't go anywhere. There are a few other things that I do want to talk about, but I don't want to drag this video out for too long. So make sure you stick around, turn your notification bells on, hit that like button, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.